The incursion of nearly 24 Russian drones into Polish airspace on September 9 to 10, 2025, during a widespread aerial bombardment of Ukraine, has become a pivotal moment in the ongoing conflict. This event, which saw NATO fighter jets scramble to intercept the unmanned aircraft, represents the first time a member of the Western military alliance has directly engaged Russian drones since the war in Ukraine began. While Russia denies its drones intentionally violated Polish airspace, Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk swiftly and publicly rebuffed this claim. His direct contradiction of a suggestion by former and potential future U.S. President Donald Trump, who publicly speculated that the incursion could have been a mistake, highlights a significant and potentially dangerous ideological fault line within the NATO alliance. Poland, a frontline state in the conflict, views the incident not as a mere accident, but as a deliberate and unprecedented act of provocation. The scale and duration of the incursion, 19 breaches over 7 hours, with drones penetrating hundreds of miles into Polish territory, are seen as a calculated test of NATO's air defenses and a brazen attempt to probe the alliance's resolve. The Polish government's firm stance, backed by foreign ministers from Lithuania and Ukraine, is a clear signal that it will not tolerate such a violation of its sovereignty and territorial integrity. Conversely, Trump's comment and the more cautious, measured tone from NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, who stated that a full assessment of the incident is ongoing, reveals a split in Western attitudes towards Russia. While one camp sees a need for unambiguous deterrence, the other appears hesitant to definitively label the act as a deliberate escalation, potentially seeking to avoid further friction. Reasons and consequences. The reasons behind Russia's action and the subsequent political fallout are multifaceted. For Moscow, the incursion was likely a strategic probe to gather intelligence on NATO's response times, command and control procedures, and air defense capabilities. By using a large swarm of seemingly unarmed drones, Russia could test the alliance's willingness to use force against a non-direct attack, all while maintaining plausible deniability. The presence of some drones reportedly launched from Belarus also suggests a deliberate attempt to add complexity and ambiguity to the incident. For Poland, its unyielding public posture is rooted in historical experience and a clear-eyed assessment of the threat. Warsaw cannot afford to show any weakness, as doing so would embolden further Russian aggression. The consequences of this incident are significant. Militarily, the drone raid has served as a wake-up call for NATO's eastern flank. The alliance's rapid response, including the deployment of fighter jets from allied nations, demonstrated a degree of operational readiness. However, the event also exposed potential vulnerabilities, particularly concerning the effective defense against a large number of relatively low-cost drones. In response, NATO has already launched a new initiative, Eastern Sentry, to bolster defenses across its eastern flank, from the high north to the Black Sea. Politically, the public disagreement between a Polish leader and a prominent American political figure has sent a confusing signal to both allies and adversaries. While U.S. officials have since affirmed their commitment to NATO, the initial mixed messages create an impression of disunity that could be exploited by Moscow. The incident has also reinforced Poland's leadership role within the alliance, as it pushed for a stronger, more assertive response than some other Western partners. Prediction and solutions. Looking ahead, it is highly probable that similar incursions will occur. Russia will continue to test the boundaries of NATO's resolve and probe for weak points in its collective defense. The drone, now a cheap and effective tool of asymmetrical warfare, will remain a key instrument in this strategy. The ongoing divergence of views between certain U.S. political figures and European allies on how to confront Russian aggression may also continue to be a source of tension. The solutions to this challenge must be both military and diplomatic. On the military front, NATO must accelerate its efforts to integrate and enhance its air defense systems, especially against drone threats. This includes not only deploying more fighter jets and missile batteries, but also developing advanced electronic warfare and counter-drone technologies. The Eastern Sentry Initiative is a positive step, but it must be followed by robust, long-term commitments from all member states. The alliance must also create and publicize a clear, pre-agreed-upon protocol for future incursions, leaving no room for ambiguity or hesitation. Diplomatically, Western leaders must present a unified front. The recent public contradiction between Polish and American political figures is a luxury the alliance cannot afford. Open and transparent communication behind closed doors is essential to resolve differences before they become public spectacles. Furthermore, there is a clear need for a consistent narrative that labels such events for what they are: deliberate acts of aggression designed to test the alliance. By speaking with a single resolute voice, NATO can send an unmistakable message to the Kremlin that any violation of its territorial integrity will be met with a swift and decisive response.